So I just finished watching a movie called I Hate Found Footage. It's about puppets out in the woods making a found footage movie. It's ridiculous. It's fun. I was feeling the best I'd felt all week. So, of course, I had to set about ruining that mood. I went and looked for a movie that could absolutely ruin me. That's the spirit. Most people have to be hunted down. So, the thing is, I haven't been scared of a movie in ages. And maybe this is just horror movie fatigue. I've seen so many movies in the last while. I mean, they're just piling up and piling up. And after you've seen so many beheadings and mangled bodies and creeping horrors in the dark, after a while you just get a little jaded, I mean, everybody makes their top 10 moments that ruined me, and I watch these things and shrug. And that's not me being edgy. It's just me being worn down. And when I look at the comments of a lot of horror movies, I'm not the only one who feels that way. I mean, a lot of people leave comments on supposedly really scary horror movies and say they're kind of over it. Everyone's brave in the comments. Not so in real life. But it's been so long. I wanted to be scared and not startled. I mean, I'm easily startled. I yelled at a Keurig the other day. Little noises, okay, fine. But that's not the same as being scared. That creeping horror, that worry that something's out to get you. If you wanted to be scared, you just have to ask me. I can help. Well, Oliver, I'm not asking you. Standing offer anytime. But I'm happy to report that I found it. I found fear. I found something that scared me. And oh my God, it felt good to be wrecked. I mean, just finally properly trounced. Before I get into it though, hi, my name's CJ. I am your movie god for the Found Footage broadcast. And this is my co-host, Oliver.
You will all die in hell tonight.
Sorry, what was that, Oliver? I was just welcoming everyone to the Found Footage broadcast. Oh. All right. Thanks, Oliver. Now, if you've subscribed, you're already a member of the Cult of the Movie God, so welcome, my found footage fanatic friend. Hit the button below. You know that, whoa, I'm smacking this thing around. Oh, new setup, guys. I'm wrestling with the scary tech demons here. Hit the button below, please. You know the one. And roll the intro. Here we go. Today, we're doing 1974, The Possession of Altair. Okay, here we go. 1974, The Possession of Altair. This is a gem. This one is actually the very first movie by director's name on screen. I never remember anybody's name, and I can't be bothered to look into my notes. But it's, for a first effort, I mean, staggering. For a 20th effort, staggering. This movie just nails that crunchy sort of analog vibe, all recorded on film and made to look authentic to 1974, even though the movie was actually done in 2000 and whatever it was. It's on the title somewhere. I gotta stop being so lazy. I gotta just get these notes on the screen. But the opening is perfect because the opening is reporters on some country road. It's kind of on a hill. You pass a house there, and there's emergency services everywhere, and the reporters are trying to get a straight answer from anyone about what's going on. No one will talk to them. Eventually, they nail down a neighbor, and they're like, what's going on? And the neighbor was like, well, I don't know. I heard this sound. It sounded like a train running through their house, even though obviously there's no train anywhere near here. And then lights. And I thought, okay, well, the house must be burning down. This light that looked like flame. And then I ran up to the house, and the house was fine. Nothing. And no one was there. And everything went quiet. That's our mystery flashback. And now we get these sweet, soft scenes of a happy couple moving into a new house and getting comfortable. So in the early film here, two things happen. First, we get introduced to a puppy, a sweet, cute, adorable puppy at the beginning of a horror movie. Ladies and gentlemen, oh no. No, you don't introduce a puppy at the beginning of a horror movie. That can't end well. I don't do spoilers in my review, so I'm not going to tell you exactly specifically what the final fate of that puppy is. However, this is a horror movie, guys. And the puppy was introduced in Act 1. I mean, you know, it doesn't, there's no yelping. Moving on. But anyway, it's a sweet, heartwarming scene while it lasts. And then you have the most 1974 housewarming party scene that you've ever had. Everybody is dressed exactly perfect in period costume, and they're all smoking and drinking and chatting with each other like people used to back in the day. Remember when people used to talk to each other at a party that they would go to voluntarily and enjoy having been there? This is the olden times, way back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I kind of miss it, you know, like in my 20s, we used to have parties all the time, but they've kind of gone out of fashion. And yeah, we threw our fair share of housewarming parties. They're good. I love a housewarming party. Everyone shows you where they'd hide if they had to. That's real good, Oliver. So here we are, all comfy. We're all tucked in. We're all secure in our knowledge that everything's going to be fine. But there are some early signs. There's these strange sounds outside. Sounds that are like, I don't know, maybe there's a hum or an engine running somewhere. Have you ever, heard a hum outside and not been able to place it? You think, well, maybe there's a truck a block over and the sound's carrying, or I don't know, something. Maybe it's that, but this is some rural area. So it's the sound, and they're having a hard time placing it. It's not always there either. It's gone and it's back. And then the phone rings, and they take a call, and it's things shifting off in the distance, but it's very quiet at this stage. Very little. We're going to get more into that a little later. It'll escalate, believe me. This is the calm before the storm. By the way, I am reviewing all 2000 found footage movies, no matter how long it takes. So I would really appreciate your support. And you can do so by like, sub, super thanks, join, comment, hype. Every little click is a sin scrubbed off your soul. And also, I'd personally really appreciate it. But anyway, back to the plot. So we start seeing our first signs of possession here, where Altair, well, she first of all, she has a dream. She has a nightmare. She wakes up, she's screaming. She swears there was a man at the foot of their bed, a creature, a being, not necessarily man. And she is positive it really happened. It was not a dream. She is positive, even though her husband was there and he didn't see anything. But eventually, yeah, she falls into some kind of trance. She just starts behaving strangely. She stops answering her husband's questions. She starts just kind of doing things that don't make a lot of sense. And it's creepy. And, in normal possession horror, there's the whole demonic voice thing. There's the growl. There's a crab walk down the stairs. None of that. All those options are available. They're all free. And this movie passes. Instead, she's just calm. She's just calm. And when these bricks show up at the door, just 4 boxes of bricks and a bunch of black paint, she calmly explains she doesn't know how they ended up there. She didn't order them. Her husband didn't order them. And then she invites him to help her paint the bricks black. Well, why? Why is she painting them black? And she just says, well, the angels told me. The angels told me that we have to do this. You can help me. She refuses to answer his questions. And at one point she just laughs. Not a demonic laugh, not an evil laugh. A genuine, calm, happy laugh. Without explaining anything. And it was just that calmness amidst a whole bunch of strange behavior that you can't put your finger on. That's what got under my skin. So much more than any kind of, I will kill you and eat your soul, any kind of like nonsense evil character thing. Her calmness and her strangeness, where something's out of place because she isn't acting right. She doesn't have to be purposefully menacing to get under your skin if you're paying attention. See, this is the thing about people who don't find things scary. And I have to blame myself a little bit when sometimes I watch a movie and I'm not scared of it. Yeah, a certain degree of that is ennui. I'm watching too many horror movies. I'm gorging myself on them. And so, yes, okay, sure. I'm getting a little jaded. But also, legit, if you refuse to think about what's happening on screen, then of course you're not going to be scared because you're not being smart enough to be scared. Fear is intelligence. You know, that fear is why our species survived. It's a evolutionary advantage, not disadvantage. Moving forward anyway is what gets us ahead, but that's not the point. The point is, if you are really skilled at not being afraid at all, you're really skilled at not thinking. And this, man, as you watch this woman go about her day doing these strange things that don't make any sense, you can't help but think something's wrong. And whatever it is, you can't figure it out, no matter how hard you try. That's fear. Fear is like anything else. It only works if you're willing to put the hours in. Okay? But anyway, obviously, things mount from here. The calls, the strange calls, start coming in more and more frequently, and they're louder and louder. And the strange sounds outside start happening more and more often. And Altair's behavior gets a little more unhinged, and then downright absolutely uncanny. And then she has moments of lucidity. Oh my God. They're even worse. It's worse when she's lucid, when she explains from her perspective what's been going on, and then she's back into the strange trance state that she's been in. Oh my God, no, she's still stuck. It all mounts up, it all builds. Here's the thing though, in a weird way, and I just have to share something personal here. Whenever he took a phone call and I heard industrial noises, distant sounds of squeaking gears, and I love that stuff, man. I love industrial stuff. I love working in warehouses. I love working in factories. I love the sound of machinery and of an old rusty hinge on an old door that we should have fixed a long time ago, but nobody ever got around to because union, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, all that stuff. I love it. I don't know why. I love industrial noise. And so he would take those calls and I'd get all a little warm and fuzzy, even though these are sounds that are supposed to terrify you. But, okay, putting aside, here's the thing. I am not going to tell you the ending. Of course, I am not going to tell you where this all goes. I am not going to spoil a single thing. I've already said everything I'm going to say about what happens. But I will say this. The ending... Oh, perfect. Because here's the thing. It's a twist ending. But it's a twist ending where it takes everything you thought you believed about what was going on and says, nope, it's this. And then you look back and you go, of course it is. Of course it always was. Of course it was always going to be that. And it was just me and my preconceptions. I am so well spoken. But anyway, all this stuff, it was on me that I had these ideas. But of course it's this other thing, this other glorious, wonderful, well-rendered climax to the story that I am not going to ruin, with some unpleasantness mixed in there. Some unpleasantness that I have not yet decided if it makes it better or worse. So it's time to answer the main question, the big question, the only question that matters. Should you watch it? If you're open to something actually frightening and you're smart enough to let it in, this is going to be a treat. And it's so damn gorgeous. If you've been watching a lot of ugly movies, stuff that's been filmed without contrast or shadow, this has shadows, this has contrast. Also, if you watched Undertone and you loved Undertone because it's a audio found footage, I don't know, whatever it is. This has the best sound score of any found footage movie. It is fan-freaking-tastic and all diegetic. Nothing non-diegetic in the entire movie. So fantastic on that level. Now, on the minus side, you are going to be reading subtitles here. You're going to go on Found TV, and the first thing you got to do is go up to subtitles and turn them on, because my Spanish is terrible. I had to, I remember biblioteca, but apart from that, there's nothing in Spanish class that ever stuck in my head. So I had to turn on the subtitles. But you know what? Let's face it. You've already read the entire internet today. What's a little more? Check it out. Now, on the minus side, there are two big things I need to give you a warning about. Number one, the puppy doesn't make it, obviously. Okay, and that is. And also two, at one point, someone hurts themselves real bad on purpose. And it's pretty awful. Okay, so that happens. And if those things are triggers for you, valid, it's fine. You cross this off the list. It's just not going to be for you. Okay. Also, if you're impatient, this isn't going to be for you. This is a movie that builds step by step by step. It doesn't just jump into the action. Now, it's not slow, but we get comfortable before we get moving. So if that's not for you today, okay, that's valid. And before I get into what's coming next, I need to ask you to leave a comment and do a request, because I know that the next movie is going to be The Monster Project, for sure. I've been putting it off. It's time. But I have no idea what I should do next. I'm thinking like an indie. I'm thinking I should do a collection of indies, all in a little sequence, but I'm not sure. So if you leave a comment and tell me what you really want me to cover next, there's only a couple thousand for me to work through. So whatever you want me to review, I'll get you covered. My friend, if you're still here, thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.